Good morning, guys. How are you? Um, Pretty dark today because it's not a nice day outside, and I usually get a lot of sunshine through my window, but um I wanted to come back at you to say I'm feeling okay, but I took a painkiller. Um, all through my withdrawals, I thought I was on clonadine. I can't see very well when I get my meds, or it's been 3 years and I forgot what I was on, and I thought it was clonadine. So when I was withdrawing from Suboxone, I was using the clonopin, which I thought was a clonadine. And for some reason, it was helping me. But through the Suboxone withdrawal, that wasn't working for me. So when I took it, I didn't feel any different. I was just withdrawing so severely, it didn't even matter. So I didn't take them during that time. And those 3 years that I was taking the so-called clonadine, which I thought was really klonopin, but I never had a habit of it. I used to take like maybe twice a week and then one time monthly every time I would go to the doctor to make sure that I had it in my system, because I already had my mind set on detoxing, so I would need it one day because I thought it was clonidine. So when the kratom part came up, I noticed that now the klonopin, which is for anxiety, was helping with the withdrawals for some reason. But I guess he says, no, it's really for anxiety and stuff. Well, I felt much better, when I was withdrawing, when I took my klonopin, now that I know it's klonopin. And I had so many bottles of it. And sometimes insurance companies switch up and give you different whites or different shapes and stuff. So I had so many bottles of it. I threw a lot of them away because I never took them like that. I would go weeks without them and never had a chippy or a withdrawal because I wasn't taking it like that. I wasn't taking it like that. Not until the kratom issue came up that I noticed when I took that pill that it was stopping the withdrawals with the augmentin. So when I would get sick during the morning, I would take them. If I get sick in the middle of the day, I would take them. When the withdrawals start at night, same shit. So I think I went through 90 pills, which was enough to get hooked. I didn't know I was on klonopin, or I just don't remember. He had to show me on the computer for the last 3 years my records, and he did say klonopin 1 milligram, 1 in the morning, 1 at night. But I didn't tell him I wasn't taking it like that. So that's why last month when he gave me the klonopin and the Celexa, I'm pretty sure he said, I'm going to put you on klonopin and the Celexa. I thought that was the first time for the klonopin. So I said, I'll try it. When I found out it was a benzo, after I took the Celexa and the klonopin together, it wasn't me being greedy. I figured I'll take it all. I took the 2 klonopins and the Celexa, and it gave me such a fucked up head that I took 2 cups of kratom and the head was still there. I never felt such a fucked up high in my life. It was horrible. That's when I relapsed, and I took 2 Suboxones, 4 milligrams, and lay down for half an hour, and it took that feeling away. I got scared, and I didn't take the klonopin. Now, mind you, I'm on klonopin. Didn't realize it. I thought I was on clonadine. So here I am with 60 pills, 59, no, 50, 60, 59, 58 pills. Okay? And the klonopins I was taking were green. Finally, I ran out, started taking the whites, which I thought was clonidine, and it wasn't. It was Lamictal, my regular pills. I couldn't see. I dumped everything together. The other bottles, I threw them away of the clonadine because they were old. I wasn't taking them like that. My mom said throw some of the stuff away, and I did. I just kept 3 up-to-date bottles, like 3 months bottles. Like January, February, March, I kept them. The rest I threw away because I wasn't on them like that. I go weeks without them and no withdrawals. But when I started to create them, I started hitting them hard because they was working for the withdrawals. But then one day I ran out of those green things and I started taking the white things. And I noticed that it was making me feel funny. Like I mentioned it to my mom. I said, Mom, either my dose or my tolerance level went up, but I don't feel this klonopin like I used to. Mind you, the first few days weren't bad. That was last month. But I still had a few. So I was almost, I say 2 weeks, but it was almost a month that I was off it. But since clonadine stays so long in your body, Lord, as the days went on with the kratom, day 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I kept saying, why do I feel worse instead of better? I was telling my group, what the fuck is going on with me? I only been on it 4 months, 3 grams, stopped the 5th week, started taking the white strains 3 times a week. But then I noticed I wasn't healing properly with my receptors and stuff. It was just stopping everything. So I decided to stop it and look for energy somewhere else. Because all I was going to do, which that was the only good thought I had, was I'm stopping the process of healing. So I'm going to have to go through it. And I was going through pause and fatigue. Hold on a minute, guys. I have to go to the bathroom. Hold on a minute.
In the working group, they're perfect family dogs if you don't mind a little bit of hair in your house. I like Bernie's family dogs because they're really, really sweet dogs. They're very family oriented. They want to be with you. They want to sit near you while you're reading. They want to walk next to you when you walk. They want to be in the room that you're in. And so, in my opinion, it makes them the perfect companion dog. Surprisingly, my dogs don't eat a great amount of food. They get kibble, a cup only, and wine and a cup at night, with a little bit of supplement of glucose for their joints, and sometimes a little chicken. This is the kiss one. They love children. You do have to be careful though, because this is a big thing.
I am so sorry. Like I told you before, I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do that. One day I'll get my sister or somebody to help me do that. I'm sorry for disappearing like that. I really don't know how to work this stuff. But like I was saying, the black seed oil I'm taking, oh, it's an excellent cleanser. I take that, and it's an energy booster too. It gives me great energy, but not like crazy energy. But it gives me energy, and it makes me go to the bathroom. So I've been cleansing for, today makes like 9 days, and I go to the bathroom every day, and it's cleaning me out, and I'm drinking my water. I like the black seed oil. It stopped my knee pain and stuff. Here and there I get it, but the inflammation is going down, I believe. Well, anyway, back to my story. So instead of getting better, from the kratom, I was getting worse. I was like, what the fuck? I'm on day 14. And this is when the klonopin really started getting to me, because klonopin, I think, lasts for quite some time in your body. So I didn't feel it for the first 3 or 4 days. As time went by, I kept saying, I'm not getting any better. I'm getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And little by little, a little pause, then more pause. Then on top of that, pause, more not pause, more withdrawals. Then I noticed for the last 3 days I wasn't sleeping. And for the last 2 days, the withdrawal was horrendous. I started feeling the restless legs. So the following night, I took the what do you take for the rest of the magnesium? It helped, but the withdrawal was horrific. I was tossing and turning, and then voila, couldn't sleep. That never happened to me. Then, like I said, since I was taking the klonopin during the day, I had no withdrawals. I was having the withdrawals at night, which I wasn't taking the klonopin at night. I would only take it once a day. Like if they got really, really bad, then I would take the clonadine. But that was very klonopin. But that was very rarely. I would just go through it because it wasn't that bad. But that's when I had the klonopin. So the next morning I would take it. But when I ran out of them, which I never did because I had fucking 58 pills there. But when I had that bad reaction with the Select, I was like, fuck that. I don't want that. Little did I know I was on it. So as the weeks went by, that was a whole month's worth. That was last month on the 12th. I ran out on probably on the office for quite some time. So instead of the kratom getting better, it was getting worse. I said, why somebody told me, no, you should get getting better. Every day you get better. I said, well, every day I'm getting worse. So I said to myself, something is not right. Something is not right here. I shouldn't be going backwards. And then when the other day, before I went to the doctors, I went to the doctors today. I went to the doctors yesterday, which was Thursday. Thursday. That Thursday night or Wednesday night, I didn't sleep at all. The worst withdrawal. It felt like a Suboxone withdrawal. I never felt so. I said, oh my God, what the fuck is going on here? What the fuck is going on here? I know they say that kratom is like an opiate withdrawal, but I was only on it for 4 months. And in the beginning, when I had the klonopin, I was feeling withdrawals, but not like that. No restless legs or nothing. I was sleeping fine. Minor withdrawals here and there. I knew I had to go through them, but they weren't that bad. But instead of the days getting better, they were getting worse. But that's because the klonopin was wearing off. So that Sunday, when I went to work Saturday, that's when I guess the shit hit the fan. I was so sick. I fainted, blurry vision, everything. That's when I ran to the doctor, immediate care. I didn't tell him I was on clonadine pen because I didn't know. I didn't think I was. I was on clonadine, but I ran out. But I thought I was taking another white pill because I got 2 of them there. The one he gave me this month and the one I had last month is 2 different shapes and stuff and sizes. And they're white, but they're different sizes and shapes. So I got confused when I put everything in a bottle. I put my regular antidepressants in there. So I thought I was taking the klonopin. I wasn't. So I was taking my regular depressant and plus an extra 2. And then I was withdrawing. But that day, that's when I knew. This is a fucking opiate withdrawal. And I didn't feel that for 12, 13 days. Why towards the end of 14 and 15 days? I said, does it get worse before it gets better? I mean, I was okay. I mean, it was doable, but as the days went by, it was getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And then when I got that fucking feeling of an opiate withdrawal, I couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning. I felt like shit. I felt like I was on Suboxone, like I was withdrawing from Suboxone, the same feelings. I got so scared. And I finally went to sleep, and I woke up, it was 8 o'clock. I was nervous because my appointment's 9 o'clock, and it's all the way on 96th Street. I left here at 8:30. I had to make it there at least by 9:35 because he goes to breakfast at 10 and doesn't come back till 11. And the way I was feeling sitting there and sitting on the train and bus, I felt fucking homicidal. I felt like my skin was crawling, sick. Oh, I don't feel so bad. But when you really want something, that shit makes you go. Here I'm thinking, okay, I have no more clonadine. I'm going to get the klonopins. I'm going to get them from my doctor. I wasn't getting shit because he said he never gave it to me. When he showed me what I was on, I cried. He said, you didn't know? I said, I forgot. I don't know. He said, you really thought that the klonopin was helping you, clonadine was helping you with the withdrawals? Yeah. He said it's used as to lower blood pressure. Some people say it helps with withdrawal. I said, well, I guess I was taking the klonopin and I really did feel that it was helping me with my withdrawals. He said, no, that's in your mind. I said, no, that was in my body and I felt it. He said it was helping you with your anxiety, which probably helped a lot while you was withdrawing. He said, most likely, if you're saying it. I said, I'm not just talking out of my ass. That's why I'm here. I'm still going through the kratom. I didn't tell him that. Developed a habit. If it wasn't for the kratom, I wouldn't have took the klonopin. I wouldn't have took it. And I still wouldn't have, even if he would have gave it to me, I still wouldn't have took it. I took it twice a week and once a month when I go to see him to make sure that I had him in my body because I was already thinking about getting off of them. Getting off of the Suboxone, and I want to be ready with whatever arsenal I had. Oh, fucking. I couldn't read the fucking letters and I mixed everything up. It was horrific. Then he told me, you're withdrawing from klonopin. And then you stopped it abruptly. I said, yeah, it made me sick. He said, it made you probably sick because we took the Celexa and you took 2 of them instead of 1 of them. He said, I got you on the lowest dosage, which is 1 milligram. Why are you sick? I said, I didn't take them. They made me sick. He said, it made you sick because you took 2 and the Celexa together must have been a little bit too much. If you would have took 1, you wouldn't have felt like that. Anyway, I'm glad because I said that Celexa is an SSR. I don't want it. It's bad enough now I'm on a benzo. So I myself made a habit. I gave myself a habit of klonopin when I never had it. And I've been on it for 3 years. So I think I got a fighting chance. But what I felt there has to be done medically now. I seen videos. It's a horrific thing. And I argued one time with this psych attendant She said she worked in the psych department and that klonopin was not as addictive as any other benzo. It's easier to get off. I do believe that, but you still got to taper. But some of the stories that I heard were pretty fucking horrific. He said that what you heard was people abusing it and cutting and shaving and doing what the fuck they wanted to do instead of going by doctor's order. He said if it takes you 1.5 years, I can guarantee you'll go through slight withdrawals, but it won't be that bad. as cold turkey. He said, you can't cold turkey from that. I went cold turkey, not intentionally. I went cold turkey because I ain't had none. And all that time, I had them on my dresser. But, like, I got scared of them. Like I told you, I got scared of them. He said, you have to go back on the klonopin. I can't let you go cold turkey like that. I don't want to be responsible. It's your choice, but it's not a good idea. He said, you came here because you were dreadfully sick, right? You usually always wait 2 or 3 days before my appointment, you know? So I kind of figured you wasn't really on them like you're supposed to be, or you would have been running over here. And that wasn't the case. Sometimes I go 5 days. So he said, pretty much I figured you wasn't addicted to it like that. And I didn't think 1 milligram was going to kill you, but you must have been abusing them, which I was, because they were helping me with the withdrawals. Every time I felt the withdrawal from the kratom, I took it. But now I have to face the reality that I could only take it twice a day, morning and at night. I started with a 2.5, whatever. I have one that's 1 milligram from last month because that was my normal dosage. That's what he was giving me. I didn't fucking know. So I think he raised it a little bit, 2.5, but for me to cut it in half. I was so sick when I came home, I took that whole pill. Didn't give a fuck if I couldn't wake up for work or not. I was not, there was no way, the way I felt yesterday was not being able to go to work. So I took and laid down, and about an hour later, I wasn't in a deep sleep. All of a sudden, the headache was gone, and the withdrawals were gone. So you tell me, was I not withdrawing from the klonopin? Yes, I was. But then, now, it's a klonopin or the fucking kratom. But what I was feeling was the biggest, the worst part of it is, as I was towards the end, which was the other day, Thursday was the worst day of my fucking life, Wednesday night. That's when I knew something's wrong. I'm detoxing from something. And the kratom, I'm not a fucking, I haven't even been on it 5 months. I haven't even been on it 5 months. There's no reason why I should be still feeling like this. Some days were good, and those days were when I was on the klonopin. So they was like, don't worry, it's going to be uphill from then on. And then when I kept telling them, no, I'm getting worse. I was getting worse because the klonopin was leaving my body. And when it finally left altogether, I was fucked. So now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to play doctor with myself. I'm going to make sure I have a little bit of something in it. So once the kratom is gone, the kratom withdrawal is gone, I'm going to stay on the klonopin, but do the 1 milligram for a couple of months. And then from there, I'm going to start taking it and cut it into 4 pieces. And stay on it for like 25 days and cut the other piece another 25 days or whatever. I might even go back on the kratom. I don't know. But I think I should give my body a chance to adjust to, you know, I've been through the Suboxone and then the kratom. So it's been a battle for 4 months. And I don't think I can handle klonopin taper right now. He said, I'm going to go back. You're going to go back on it. So, you know, because this could be very detrimental to your health. You know, it's a serious thing that you're on now. So you just can't stop like that. We're going to do it. We're going to do it right. and when you're ready. But I want to go to school. I want to do things. Do I want to be on it the rest of my life? No. I was only on it for 4 years, but I wasn't addicted to it. I made myself addicted to it from the kratom. So being that it's only been really 12 days and I sucked them up like that I don't think the withdrawals would be that bad. So I have to start little by little cutting myself down. I'm going to try it that way and see what happens. Then I'm going to see if when I start getting withdrawing from it, I'll start taking the kratom. Those are my plans. But if it don't work out that way, then I'll do it the doctor's way. But I don't think I heard of anybody detoxing from benzos, from that. But they have Oxycontin and all that. They have done that. So I'm probably going to do that after the kratom is gone. But not cold turkey. I'm going to wean myself off of it. Study some more and see how the weaning goes. So what's going to happen is probably I'm going to have sick days because I don't want to create a monster of the kratom, but I think it's going to happen anyway because this is not going to happen overnight. So I think weaning myself off of it is to me is worse. It's just like more withdrawals, but he said this is something that you cannot stop abruptly. We have to do this little by little. He said, trust me, don't do that. He said, I can't allow you to do that. You're going back on it, and we're going to do it the right way. Give yourself a couple of months, and then we'll start thinking about how to taper you. I said, I don't want a fast taper, not with this. He said it's 1 milligram. It shouldn't be bad. I said, it was bad. He said, yeah, but I'm not going to just cut you 50% off like that or 20%. I'll cut you off little by little to where it's going to be not too uncomfortable. And maybe give me gabapentin or something while I'm on it. I don't know. I'll have to see. But like I said, even with the klonopin, I still was withdrawing from the kratom. But now I know that it's the klonopin was the problem because I was off it all that time. 58 pills. And I never took them. I stopped taking it the first day. And I had like maybe 15. They were gone. Then I was taking something else. And then since it lasts that long in your body, I didn't feel it. But I noticed that the withdrawals were getting a little bit more intense. So I was like, what the fuck? Well, now I know. So now I know where I'm at. And I'm hoping I do it right. Just take it twice a day. I took my morning dose around 6 o'clock. I took the 25 milligrams. Tonight I'll take the 1 milligram. And then starting, what's today? Saturday? Starting Sunday, I'll do the 1 milligram in the morning and the 1 milligram at night. Or maybe not. I have to see how that day feels. If I feel sick, then I'll get up and take it. If I feel I can't sleep, then I'll get up and take it. But it was happening at night. I tell you guys, that's one drug I didn't want to get on. But now I'm on it. and I have to deal with it. But I told the doctor I can't do another detox right now. He said, no, we're not going to do that right now. We're going to wait a couple of months. Let your body get used to this, get you out of that withdrawal, get it back in your system, and then we'll start taking care of it little by little. He said if it takes a year, then it takes a year. But it can be done. So that's my story. Tomorrow, I don't know how I feel, but I know I won't feel sick once I take my klonopin in the morning. And if I stick to taking the klonopin at night, but I did, and sometimes I'll still wake up sick, but not bad. But now, since I don't have it in my body, I got to implement it back in. So I'm going to see how the days go on. Maybe in another 5-6 days, or maybe another 10 days. I don't know, off for the kratom. Maybe now, since I'm taking care of the klonopin issue, which was another withdrawal. So it was bugged out because I didn't tell him I was on kratom. But now I'm withdrawing from two things. But I didn't know which was the worst one. But the worst one was the klonopin. That's the one I felt that was really bad. So I'm hoping for maybe another 10 days. I took a painkiller. Klonopin is a benzo.
We've told you about HARP in the past, and we're happy to report that nearly 3.5 million homeowners have already taken advantage of this fantastic money-saving program. But there are so many more of you who could be saving.
I'm sorry, I'm so quiet, but like I'm still in shock that I did that to myself. That's how sick I was in the beginning. My mind, I wasn't thinking straight, separating all those pills, putting them all together. So I had so many bottles of them, throwing this away, throwing that away.
Then we'll guide you through each step of the mortgage refinance process to make sure that it's both simple and easy. And for 8 years in a row,
and all the time I was, even if I was withdrawing from the kratom, or even if it was coming out with the water, that's one thing. But I was sick from something else.
If you're not familiar with HARP, it's a U.S. government program designed specifically for homeowners with little or no equity.
Let's see how the days go. Just wanted to say good morning to everybody. I still got the same clothes on from last night because I just worked. I just got off this morning, so. I don't even want to look at the klonopin videos. I just don't. I'm going to talk to my doctor next month about it. How long should I stay on it? And how would the tapering be? That I need a slow taper. I don't want a doctor to come up to me and say, your insurance don't want to pay for it anymore, and then I'll be totally fucked. Okay? It'll be street drugs for me.
Give your kids France. Give them Australia. Give them the oceans. Give them curiosity. With a subscription to Little Passports, kids get a package in the mail every month with fun activities that let them explore their world. Give your kids a subscription now. In a whole new way. You want to give them the world. Now you can.
Well, that's my story.
Just 3 to 13 at trylittlepassports.com.
Fucking shame. I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to wake up. I should still feel the klonopin because I just took it at 5 in the morning. So I should sleep and be able to wake up without going through withdrawals because that's what usually was happening during the day. But now that I'm implementing it back in my body, he said give it a couple of days and that withdrawal will start disappearing, which it did the same day that I put it in my body, which was yesterday. And the withdrawals went away, but I still wasn't myself because I didn't sleep. So I felt drained. The sickness was gone, but I just felt drained. So I took a painkiller. So I gotta really like get myself together with this shit and make sure that I don't overdo it anymore. I have to take it at night like I used to because I have to put it back in my body. So that's my story, guys. And good morning to everybody. And I wish you well. Hope your days go nicely. I'm off for a couple of days. Let's see where this ride takes me. If the kratom will stop, or today makes 15 days, I think, or 16 days. What is it? 16 days. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 30. I got 7 more days for 30 days. Somebody told me I should be better by now. I should be probably in pause. That's another thing, which I probably won't go through. Because when I went through it through Suboxone, it only lasted a month and a half. And I said I wanted to be better by July. So I'm glad I caught it in time. And now I know what's going on with my body. So I'm going to lay down for a little while, push myself to sleep, but I got a little energy. And let's see what happens. I'm hoping that this too shall pass. You know, I'm praying. I'm clonopin. Fuck. That's why I didn't take it in the beginning. I know better now. So I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna let this klonopin do its thing and see when the kratom will stop. Once the kratom stops, I'm gonna slow down with the klonopin once it's implemented in me and just take the 1 milligram a day. And then most likely I'll cut that bitch in half and take 1 a day. Once my sleep pattern comes back. Because I was sleeping fine without it before I detoxed or anything. Of course I slept. I was on fucking klonopin. But some people say they're on it and they're on klonopin and still having a hard time sleeping. But these are people who've been on it 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years. Their sleep was fucked up in the beginning. It was like an opiate withdrawal. I didn't go through that. God, how I feel. Bye-bye.